Hello guys, welcome back to KCFS Academy. So on this video, I want to talk about one thing that can make you successful in forex. I know it also helps in other part of anything you do in life, but there's one particular, I always go with what I am doing. One thing that can make you successful in forex is what we call a risk management. There's a time you have to flip an account, that is sure. I sometimes I was okay, I have $200. Let me just use this $100, that one I just call it risk. I just want to finish that money. I just want to risk it. I don't have anything to do with it. That's fine. There are some times you do it, but there are some times you have to use your proper risk. Now, for example, when you're trading a challenge of like FTMO, any platform of it own, you must use a proper risk. You can have a big account of $20,000, $30,000, and they give it to you now. For example, you're a forex trader and you don't know how to begin. What should come on to you? Where will you start and where will you even end? That is a question that you should ask yourself any day you find yourself in a big account. Now I'm here to answer that question for you. So guys, if you're not in any way following my YouTube channel, go to KCFS and subscribe and get notified whenever I drop a video. This video will be dropping full there, but all that social media will be not full, but on my YouTube channel, you will get the full video. Now, whenever you have a real account, any account, a log site, any account, one thing that should come into you is, for example, I have funded my $20,000 in my account now. One thing I have to think is, how much am I willing to risk in each trade I place? I have my entry, I place a buy. How much am I willing to risk? That should be the first thing that should come into your memory. Now, the second thing that you should think about is, what lot size? People that are in forex know what lot size means. What lot size am I willing to use for the rates to be aligned with my daily loss or my loss per trade? That is the second thing. Now, the third thing is, in my profit target, hope is giving me at least times 2 of whatever I'm risking. That is what we call proper risk management. Now, for example, I have a 25K account. I was funded. The first thing I have to do is, okay, now manually in my brain, I have the mind that in any trade I'm taking in any account, unless I'm flipping the account. But if I'm using the proper risk management, I am not risking more than 1%. Now, for example, I have my 25K account. The first thing that should come into my mind is 1% of 25,000. That is one thing I should think of. 1% of $25,000. Now, under 1% of $25,000 is giving us $250. That is, if I enter one trade, I am not risking higher than $250 in that trade. Now, the next thing that should come into me is, what loss size should I use in this trade? That is the next thing. And what take profit should I use in this trade? And what currency pairs am I because when you are risking in gold, the loss side is not the same thing you'll be risking in currency pair. So ask yourself the currency pair you are willing to trade. For example, I'm trading GBP, USD, Euro, USD, AUD, all those ones. That is currency pair that is not metal or that is not crypto. So now let's check and know how we can be able to get the loss size that will still make us, when we lose our money, we lose 150 per trade. Just per trade. What we give us, make sure that whenever we lose, we are not losing higher than $250. Now, I will introduce you to a lovely link I like that have bring me so far in forex, which is known as Baby Pips calculator. Let me show you guys on my laptop. Now, what I will advise you to use, and I always use for all currency pairs, is Baby Pips calculator. Now, the first thing is, I will go to my Baby Pips calculator. I will try to open my Baby Pips calculator, and when I open my Baby Pips calculator, This will definitely answer your question. Remember, I said in any trade that you are, any account you are using a proper risk management, never you risk more than 1%. That one should stick in your mind. 1% of any account, $1 million, $2 million, 1%. And in any take profit should be times 2, which means if I'm risking 1% of my 25,000, which is $250, I'm targeting $500 and above. That should always be in your mind. Now, for example, I am going in, putting my currency pair with my baby pips. They ask me about my account lot size. I will say $25,000. That's account lot size. You ask risk percentage. I will say I'm risking only but 1%. 1%. You ask me loss. I will say 30 pips maximum. 30 pips, and I will put euro or any of the currency pair, and I will say okay. Loss size. I'm saying 30 pips. So I will come to calculate. Now I have been able to calculate. This is what we are having. They said our amount at risk is $250. You understand? Now the loss size we should be using in this particular account is this loss size. A mini loss size of a standard loss. Sorry, we should be using this loss size 0.833. 0.833. This should be our loss size in this account. And when we are opening this account, our stop loss must not be higher than 30 pips. And then our take profit for us to make $500 will be what? 60 pips. Should be what? 60 pips. Now let me show you one thing. Let me show you. So guys, what we simply mean is when we go to our trading view here and we are about to enter, for example, this trade on Monday, and this trade was able to confirm for us on a buy. On a buy on this, and we were able to confirm a buy on this particular trade. So if I'm to buy on this particular trade from here to by Monday, I will be risking, the red one says, the red one here is what? The loss. So the highest I can put is 30 pips, and my TP should be what? 60 pips. This is 60 pips. For example, something like this. I'll make it like something like this. So if this market moves on my direction to this, I'll be making $500. And if I lose, I'm losing the sum of $250. Now, what management? That makes you to know your losses in a trade. If you are not competent enough, you might be risking not up to 1% of your account. Or if you have the sure that my analysis is my analysis, I know what I'm doing, you go for 1% of your account. Consistency doing this, you see that when in a week you are able to have 5 trades and you are able to make 2 profits. For example, you have 5 trades. Remember that when you are losing, you are risking 250 and you are able to lose 3 times, which is what? 250, 750. And you are able to make only twice, which twice of your account is, if you are making, you're making 600, 250 to 500, right? And you make twice, you're making 500, that is 1,000, and you lose 3. That means you're making what? You are still on a profit of $250. That keeps you profitable. So guys, if you understand this video, don't forget to like, share, and comment your mind. Please, I said the full video will be on YouTube. There are other videos where it be on my Facebook. Just the pre-video will be on my Facebook and TikTok, but the main video will be on the YouTube. So go to the YouTube and watch the full video. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, don't forget to comment, share for your friends to still view it as well. Love you guys. Bye. Have a nice day.